Hey everyone, my name's Nate the Great, and listen, I just started this YouTube channel. This is just starting my journey. I've recorded my first video. I haven't even posted this. Today is the 11th of May, and I just wanted to do a one take through. This is gonna have a lot of errors, maybe some cussing, etc. But I really wanted to just talk to you real quick about something that's emerging in the space that I find myself. So let me give you some context, okay? I started at 335 pounds in 2022. I got put in the hospital for influenza. I almost died. My immune system sucked ass. So I decided that I was going to change my life, fix everything that I needed to fix, and the first thing I needed to do was focus on getting this weight down, okay? So I started off doing some fasting, some carnivore, kicked out the carbs, and it worked miraculously. It did. It brought me down to about 230, 240, and I felt great the whole time I did it. And it was really a great discipline. It was an entire life changing, but then I kind of hit a wall. And this was like almost a year ago. I hit a wall at about 230, 240. And anything I tried to do, even extending my fast, and I would do strict fasting. Um, and 2 3 days I do rolling. I follow a guy named Jerome. He's final fasting, and he would do rolling 90, so I'd do like rolling 72s or 65s or something along those lines, and I would just find myself barely getting back to where I started. And of course my refeeds weren't that big. It would be like maybe like 3,000 calories, and if you think in a 4-day span you eat 3,000 calories, now mind you, most of it was protein and fat and low carb, right? So I just felt like for this last year my gym sessions have really kind of went down a bit, and just my overall energy levels, and just I can do the fasting. It's a great discipline. I'm out here walking first thing in the morning on Mother's Day. I made my wife a nice gave her a nice message, and got her cookie, or not cookies, I got that's not a good idea. I got her a nice I painted her something, and a nice message. I got her coffee. The dogs are all taken care of. Anyways, let me get back to this. So listen, I've been following Cole Robinson for years, okay? And this is actually when I was looking for fasting and, low carb stuff. He was the guy to go to because you're just in your face. I'm prior military, so the whole hey fatty thing. It really worked for me. My wife's not a big fan, but I loved it, right? He would do the 80-20 stuff and the fasting. And so I've just watched him over the time, and he's always been real about like trying things and making mistakes. But anyway, so for the last, I don't know, I want to say month or two, he started switching over to the sugar diet. And I was in a moment where I was probably like 225, and I've been stalled for months and months and months on a strict carnivore diet. I generally don't cheat very often, and when I do, I go right back into maybe a 2 or 3 day fast, and then right back into carnivore. So I tried it, and I think I did it wrong. And here's why how I know I did it wrong was I was trying to keep my protein up really high, lean protein by the way, because I was worried about my muscle loss. I'm not the biggest muscular guy, but like I'm 43 now, and I really wanted to kind of maintain my muscle. So I was eating a lot of carbs. I was keeping my fat down basically to, under 10 grams a day, but I was eating a lot of lean protein, probably in the range of like 150 grams. And so my calories were bumped up quite a bit. And so I was kind of maintaining my weight, which was, again, not bad. And I felt way better in my gym sessions. I got some PRs on some, incline dumbbells up to like 85s and stuff. It was really cool, right? But I just felt like, I got really nervous. Just like Cole says, he's like, all these sciencey people come in here and they're like, wait, oh my gosh, you're gonna, this is terrible for you. So I kind of panicked, and I was like, I'm gonna go back to carnivore. And I went back to strict carnivore where I'm fasting. I'm doing like rolling 72s where I'm fasting for days, water fasting, by the way, with just black coffee and green tea and water and salt and sodium and potassium. So, and a little bit of magnesium. But anyways, I'm doing it all right because I've been able to do this for a long time. but I just, I started to lose a little bit of weight. I'm down to about 207 right now, 208. And I've been really strict on the carnivore, really strict on my calorie refeeds. I'm eating anywhere between 2,000 and 2,500 calories on my refeeds. So all the literature, you're following the instructions to a T. Just pretend like you didn't fast the last couple of days, and then re-eat. My thyroid and my energy levels are just in the tank, right? And then I see that Cole Robinson's actually making some traction with this, and some other YouTubers that I've watched, Thomas DeLauer or Mark Smelly Bell, like all these influencers that I've watched kind of here and there over the time. I know Thomas DeLauer is like really into like the science and the studies and stuff, and me too. I'm a very analytical person, but I just thought, gosh, I'm gonna do another couple of weeks of carnivore and see where I get. Okay, so for the last 2 weeks I've been doing essentially rolling 65. So 2 days water fasting with coffee and green tea, again sodium, potassium, magnesium, walking at least 10,000, usually around 15,000 steps a day, exercising, going to the gym, lifting heavy ass weights as much as I can. Granted, when I'm on carnivore, I just don't feel powerful in the gym. Again, I'm 43, so again, my testosterone's already kind of low. Just like Cole, I am completely natural. I have not started any cycles or trend or anything like that. I don't ever intend to, unless, as my age and my just natural testosterone goes down, I might think about it. But at the same time, right now, I'm all natural. Okay, so listen. For 2 weeks, I've been doing strict strict carnivore, and doing rolling fast, which again, when I first started, worked really, really well. I'd lose a pound, maybe 2 pounds a day. Okay, and I know that's extreme. But on average, I'd lose probably about 2 pounds a week, because again, every refeed I'd be feeding, anywhere between 2 to 3, maybe even sometimes up to 4,000 calories of mostly fat and protein and no carbs. So anyways, I did this strict carnivore for 2 weeks with some every other alternate day fasting or 48-hour fasting, and I just keep going back to the same weight. In fact, this morning, and this is why I wanted to make this video. Again, I haven't even started this channel, so hopefully I can get the first edit videos that I did like a week or two ago, get that up, and then I'm going to post this one just unedited as is, and hopefully I can keep this under 15 or 20 minutes, because who wants to watch a random new guy talk about some weird stuff that doesn't really have a lot of following. But I'm just so excited about it, because I'm going to be the experiment in the middle range, right? I'm not a big fatty. I'm at like 200, like I said, I weighed in exactly at 207 this morning, and that's what really put the catalyst, kind of put the change in there. I say I'm going to do strict carnivore for 2 weeks. I'm not going to cheat. I lost a little bit of weight, but then again I stalled out. And here's my favorite part. I was at 206.8 2 weeks ago. I weighed in this morning at 207.0. I've just fasted 4 or 5 days in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so again, alternate day fasting and or 48s, depending on the situation. And I've essentially not gone anywhere. So I was like, you know what? I dabbled in this sugar diet before, and I just need to turn off that bullshit when it comes to people telling me like, oh, you're gonna damage yourself, like, I've tried both of these things. I highly prefer eating carbs, and I'm not trying to be all crazy about it. I'm not gonna go grab a bunch of candy, but at the same time, like, the idea that I can is rather liberating. I love me some ribeyes, okay? I know Kobe's like, getting stalled out on them ribeyes. It's like, yeah, that's this guy, right? Because I love cooking them, I love smelling them, I love eating ribeyes. And I probably will continue to do that. And that's the great thing, is like, I don't have to ditch the ribeyes I just have to, plan them accordingly and eat them. So let me, again, introduce myself. My name's Nate the Great, Grate, Great. It's not my actual last name, but that's the name of the channel, and I'm going to stick with it because it's funny and ironic, because I like to grate a lot of people. I like to not irritate, but get under their skin or just challenge their assertions. And that's why I like Cole so much, is because the dude is unabashedly unapologetic, and he is willing to accept that he had maybe gone down a different path than others based on his own experience. And I love the whole idea of just challenging yourself, getting out of that dogma, and really thinking outside of the box, trying something, evaluating it, seeing if it works, modify it, etc. And that's why when I started seeing Thomas DeLauer, just, I don't know, yesterday or the day before, he posted a video about this. And of course he was like walking, he has to be real careful because he has a big channel, he has a lot of advertisers, a lot of people that support him financially that really want him to push in a certain agenda. Where Cole just seems like that guy, like that, he's the Wile E. Coyote out there just running a buck, and he doesn't give two shits what people think or what people, say at him, or even the science stuff. He just says, look, motherfucker, this is my experience. I'm trying to share and help you. You can listen or you can get the hell out of here. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be the middle of the road, because I hate that, like, yeah, there's a couple new channels popping up, and I'm seeing them, like, tied to the Cole stuff. And these guys are still really big. And I'm really glad that they're getting their shit together, and hopefully they lose weight. That's the whole point. We should never, as a community, as a people that are completely metabolically unhealthy, we should stop saying this is the only way, this is the fastest way. How about this? Whatever way works for you specifically is going to work, because if you lose weight, regardless of how you do it, now granted, there's extreme measures, and then there's ways you can do it that are a little less aggressive. I think I went down the aggressive path, right? And to that end, I'm like, would I recommend people to fast for days on end and then refeed appropriately as a carnivore, or get rid of I even took a month in February where I ate every day, and I intermittent fast, right, 16 and 8, and I controlled my intake, and I did everything right. Still stall city, right? So I'm going to be that experiment. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to record everything I'm going to do starting today. I started this morning. Today's Mother's Day, May 11th. Like I said, I already got my wife hooked up with some goodies back at home, and I'm out here on a 5-mile walk because this is what I did this morning. I had I did the sugar stuff before, and my kids didn't like the rice cakes. So there was 3 rice cakes. I had bought a long while ago some organic maple syrup, I think for like a family outing or something, and it had just been sitting in the cupboard. Nobody's touching it. I'm like, are you serious? This stuff's delicious. And like, but I'm like, oh, I'm on carnivore though. I can't have any carbs. I can't even have simple carbs. Excuse me. So this morning I waited, like I said, at 2:07. I'm gonna weigh myself every single day. I'm gonna eat every single day. I'm gonna start, like Cole mentioned, I'm gonna start on a sugar fast. Now, I kind of cheated a little bit because I had 3 rice cakes. That's about 150 calories. I know he says not to measure or restrict calories. Because I'm an analytical guy, I'm going to try to find a middle ground where I'm not going to limit myself. I'm going to be intuitive. I'm going to listen to my body. If I'm feeling hungry, I'm going to eat. Okay? The only thing is I'm going to track it just for data. I want the data. I want to see what my deficit is, because I'm pretty comfortable being in a 0-calorie deficit. So I think the difference is, and let me get to this just starting off. So this morning I woke up. I usually get up around 6, sometimes a little bit earlier because I go to bed early because I'm old, and that's okay. I like to get my 8 hours. But then I look at my sleep app. I check my sleep and stuff, and when I'm on carnivore and I'm fasting, my sleep sucks ass. It's no REM, no deep sleep, and I get a shit ton of light sleep. And even though I'm sleeping 8-9 hours a day, realistically, most of that is just whatever. And that was one of the things that I really liked about the sugar diet, is I tried it, like I said, for about 2 weeks, about a little over a month ago. and my sleep just went through the roof. My REM went up to over an hour. My deep sleep went up over an hour, and my light sleep, adjusted accordingly. I was getting the exact same amount of sleep hours wise, but the quality was just through the roof. And it all came down to just eating carbs, eating sugar, simple carbs, juice, and fruits. I love blueberries. I love strawberries. I would make these big ass smoothies with, basically 150 grams or 200 grams of strawberries and blueberries. And again, the one thing that I think I'm going to do differently this time is I'm going to cut out the protein for a little bit and just see how that works, right? I'm still going to work out. I'm still going to do my walks. I'm still going to do my gym sessions. I'm just going to cut the lean protein out for a bit. And when I say lean protein, I mean like chicken breasts. I love chicken breasts. I cube them up all the time. We get them from Costco, those big bags or whatever. But anyway, so I'm going to be the middle ground, okay? Yes, I'm still fat according to the BMI. I'm 207 pounds, but I'm a pretty big dude, and I'm pretty muscular too, if you can see. But I'm wearing a weighted vest. I'm out here walking about a 5-mile walk. I've had this weighted vest forever, and I love it. My wife uses it sometimes, but sometimes we forget to swap out the weights, and she's like, "Oh, this is too heavy," and I'm like, "Yeah." So I usually put around 20 to 40 pounds. Right now I'm just doing 20 because I wanted to do a nice walk without having to huff and puff, because I had a 40-pound on my back. I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys right now. But anyways, so I'm going to be the middle ground, okay? Let's start today. This is today, day 1. Now again, I know he said fruit and juice, so I kind of cheated a little bit. Like I said, I had 3 rice cakes. I put about 20 grams of that delicious maple organic syrup on there, and I had 40 grams of granulated sugar, approximately about 350 calories. I want to say 80 or 90 grams total of carbohydrates. Because the rice cakes, I think, have about 1 or 2, I think it's 1 gram of fat and protein. No, it's not even fat, it's protein per one. So I probably had like 3 grams of saturated fat this morning. And that's fine. Well, like Cole mentioned just yesterday, like, quit being so, crazy about it. Blueberries do have some protein, and if you're trying to cut your protein out to 0, like, let's be reasonable, right? Let's not be absolutely insane with this. So anyways, I started today, 3 rice cakes, 20 grams of maple syrup. I know that you measure stuff in milliliters, but I just did a conversion. I don't know, it's just simpler to make everything in grams for me, because that's how I operate now, is just by converting everything into grams based on the density of the liquid, and then just going from there and keeping it tracked that way. So, because then you can put the bottle on there, tar it out, pour it out, and then put it back on, you get a negative number. Easy cheesy, okay? It's a little bit easier to accurately track. So, day 1. I'm at 207. I'm gonna capture every day for the next let's say week, okay? I'm gonna do a little bit of a vlog like this, maybe less than 5 minutes, because it's gonna be annoying to listen to a person ramble and not know what they're doing. Again, I don't even have a YouTube channel posted yet, so hopefully by the time this gets posted, I'll have a whole series and I can just kind of run it through. This is gonna be a one through take, so it's gonna be low quality, no edits, etc. So you get what you get here. But let's just try stuff. I love experimenting. Let me just say, when I threw the, so I started, so let me even back up even further. So I wake up, I get 8 ounces of lukewarm water, and I do a little bit of baking powder, excuse me, and I put it in the water, I swish around, and just chug that down real quick. That usually helps me just kind of baseline. I don't know what it is. I think maybe I'll cut that out, but it makes me feel good. From there, then I fill that same water back up. I'll add a little bit of lemon juice in there. Sorry, we got bugs going. Thinking I'm walking too fast. They shouldn't be able to keep up. So then I add some lemon juice. I do some cold water, and then this is where I think I'm going to need to modify. Is usually I do a concoction of like sodium, potassium, creatine. I do all this stuff like L-carnitine, and I may need to just cut that all back and just isolate so I can really dial in. So that was instinctive this morning. Then I did the 3 rice cakes with the 20 grams of maple syrup drizzled on top, and then in the water I put 40 grams of just table sugar. And then I had all that, and I felt like a little kid that had won an award, and my energy just like, you could just feel like because on carnivore you just get this like dull, like I can do stuff for like 8 seconds at a time, and then I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted, and then I gotta wait 3 minutes, right? This one was like, I just felt like a battery, like one of those fast charge batteries where it's like zoom, 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 zoom. And I was like, my head is like, poof. And crazy enough, like I usually have a coffee in the morning because, you know, that's again a staple in the carnivore space is you just drink a crap ton of black coffee, and that's how you keep your energy up throughout the day. It's just this caffeine addiction. So I'm like, you know, I don't even feel like I need caffeine. This is the first walk I've been on in a while where I don't have any coffee or anything like that. So but I feel I'm talking really fast because I have a crap ton of energy. And my wife wants to go to the gym later today, and I'm really excited because I'm probably gonna do a little bit of maybe another little sugar bump, maybe an hour before we go, and just see how it goes. I'm just already excited because every time I did the sugar diet last time and I was in the gym, I just felt like a god. And I'll take some pictures and maybe try to get some video. I'm not a big fan of, like, you know, invading other people's privacy, even though we're in a sort of public place. But we're in a gym, people don't like to be recorded and stuff. So we'll try to figure out what that looks like. Maybe my wife will just take some still shots and show you. We were actually at the gym on Friday, and I was just trying to push some mid-weight dumbbells on the incline, and I was struggling. I could barely get 4 up, and my form was garbage. So let me get back around. I want to wrap this up by 25 minutes. I apologize. This is a very long video, but this is my point, okay? I'm going to be the experiment so that you don't have to listen to somebody that's already ripped. You don't have to listen to somebody that's actually super overweight still. And again, kudos to them for starting this journey and working on their health. But let me just tell you, for somebody that came from that space, you can lose 2, 3, 4 pounds in a couple of days, really basically doing anything as long as you cut your calories down low. And this is actually one of those events where, you know, you're drinking a bunch of juice, you're having some sugar overall, because, you know, it's 4 grams, you know, 4 calories per gram, unlike, you know, saturated fat, which is like stupid 9. You know, oh, there's a deer. Cool. Oh, there's a couple of them. Huh. Cool. They're out here. It's early in the morning. I don't know. I just saw some deer. I know it looks like I live in the woods, but really it's a housing complex that has this really cool path, and I love walking it. I'm just worried about the mosquitoes, but that's why I'm moving really fast. So anyways, again, I'm really happy that these larger people are working on their space. They're getting out there, getting their walks in, they're getting their exercise in. But, you know, when they're saying, like, I'm losing a pound a day, it's like, yeah, you can lose a pound a day doing anything if you cut your calories and you're at that sort of weight. Because your totally daily energy expenditure is like 4, 5, 6,000 calories. And if you just even cut it in half to 2,500, even if you're just eating fruits, you're going to lose a crap ton of weight initially, okay? So I want to kind of get that out. Those are kind of outliers. And then, of course, Cole, he's already ripped out of his goddamn mind. Same with Mark Smelly Bell, right? They're ripped out or enhanced. Again, nothing wrong with enhanced people. It's all, everybody has their own journey. But at the same time, I feel like I'm in the middle ground. I'm a mid-fatty, if you will, like 207. I'm at about 26% body fat. So let me be the experiment for you. Let me be the data point for you. And I will document and showcase everything that I'm doing every single day. I'm no longer going to be doing fasting. I will be doing sugar fasting. And again, I did start today with a little bit of starch with those rice cakes, but those are gone now, so I won't be buying them again. So my goal is for the next, let's say, 5 to 7 days, I'm going to, whenever I feel like it, have fruit, wet fruit. So blueberries, strawberries, those are kind of my go-to, but I have other ones that I can jump into. And then I'm also going to have fruit juices, so apple juice, you know, orange juice, whatever I want. And I'm going to document it. Now again, I know the calorie part is not supposed to be a thing, but because I like data, I just want to see where we go. And I'll be weighing in every morning around, like I said, 6 o'clock. I take a piss, and then I jump on the scale. That's just how I operate every single day. It keeps me consistent, keeps me accountable, but it's also been very frustrating. You know, you fast for days on end with no water or just water and coffee, and then you jump on the scale and you're gaining weight. It's like, are you kidding me? So I feel like I'm a perfect data specimen here, because I've done the carnivore, I've done the sugar diet, and now going back to carnivore, realizing that it works for a very short amount of time in specific circumstances, and then you just brick wall. And then Mark Smelly Belly made a video. He does these walking videos too. It's kind of inspiration for me, and he's had the exact same experience. I'm sure there's tons of other people out there that have had this exact same experience. So day one, okay, I'll post every day, or at least I'll record myself every day, and then hopefully I can post it once I actually learn how to do this shit. So the idea here is I'll finish out, of course, this is just the morning of May 11th, so in the description of this video I will post out everything that I've eaten, when I've eaten it, and how I'm feeling, what my results are, and then every day I'll be kind of adding, and when I add a new video, etc., I'll be showing you what weight I'm at. Again, there's protocols out there that are all kind of, you know, do this, do that, whatever. Right now, I'm just going to kind of strip it all down. So my goal here is this. I'm going to cut out protein for the next 5 to 7 days. And when I say protein, I mean all protein, unless it's just a trace in fruits, right? I'm not going to be crazy. In addition, I'm going to cut out my saturated fat. That's just kind of a byproduct of, so sugar-free elements. I'm not trying to get too crazy with it. Again, I'm really just going to try and get as basic as possible. Like Cole mentions, just spare it down to sugar and fruits, right? Sugar, fruit, sugar diet. It's kind of intuitive in that it's the words and the verb, right? And the adjective, all wrapped in one. And so again, my name's Nate the Great. Sorry for the long ramble, but I'm just really excited because when I saw Thomas DeLauer even mention this, I was like, no way. And so I thought, oh, we're on to something here. And because I had tried it and I liked it and I enjoyed it, and now that I'm back on carnivore again with the fasting, I'm like, oh, I think this is a perfect opportunity to, you know, as somebody that isn't naturally or isn't super big anymore, has done both, I think I'm a great subject to try and see how this works out. So stick with me here. I'm gonna again record every single day. I'll document everything I do, so that way maybe I can help other people in the future when they discover the sugar diet and see, hey, is this actually legit, or is this something, you know, somebody made up and you know, just trying to sell me some weird stuff. Again, I'm all about it. I'm not dogmatic in any capacity, and Cole has really inspired me to really just cut the noise out and just get it. So day one, everybody. I apologize, this is almost like a 30-minute video. Hopefully I can figure out how to get this on my channel, but if I can't, then it'll at least be here for my prosperity and my evidence-based approach. So I hope everybody has a great day. I'm out here walking amongst the deer in my little complex, and I will report back in on video every single day with my results, my process, and I'm willing to make some mistakes. And the idea here is, like Cole mentions, the whole point of this is to get crackhead ripped, right? And that's really my goal. I want to get down to a weight where I feel good, I feel amazing, and I don't want to have any of the side effects that carnivore and fasting have, which is just absolutely low libido, absolutely low energy, no strength, and it just feels like you're stuck. And if you feel stuck too, don't feel like you're alone, right? You're not doing anything wrong. Maybe you are doing something wrong, but let me tell you, somebody that's been very, very strict, that was this last month, and I've only lost maybe 3 pounds when I should have been losing, thermodynamically, I should have been losing 10 pounds. Again, I'm a pretty extreme dude. I like feeling hungry, and that's one of the things I think I'm going to be okay with is, again, I did 350 calories of sugar. I'm out here running on that stuff like I'm a freaking freight train, I feel like I have energy for days. And again, I'll document all this stuff so that you can discern from yourself and learn. So anyways, let's close this out exactly at 30 minutes. My name is Nate the Great. I will be posting every day on this sugar diet. I'm all in on this. Let's figure out what works, what doesn't work. And from there, we just make each other better. Everybody gets better